Welcome back to the Behind the Lens podcast, guys. Today we have a good friend, Tyler Mckee from Valley-Wide Photography. And honestly, I've been able to work with him the last couple years, and seeing the photos that he produces for his clients in the real estate industry is by far amazing. His company is growing, it's scaling, and he is here today on the podcast. So are you ready to dive in? Let's go. Sweet. So, Tyler, welcome to the show.
Dude, thank you so much for having me. It's been such an honor to work beside you, and then to have the platform like this, and to make the time for me. It means a lot, man.
Oh yeah, and I'm truly blessed to just have you on the show. And let's talk about kind of like how you got started. Like, if people don't know you, who are you and what you do?
So my name's Tyler Mckee. I own a real estate media company, Valley-Wide Photography. Been at it since early 2017. It's kind of a crazy story. I never pictured myself being a media guy or having a camera that I'd be able to have a business with and make great income with. It all started, my older brother, he was working for kind of a hedge fund type company that buys and sells houses. And at the time, I was a freshman at UNLV. Had a part-time job, was going to school at full-time, and he just randomly came to me one day and he was like, "Hey Tyler, I think I could get you to be the photographer for like the houses that we sell."
No way.
He was like, "Yeah, the photographer we use is kind of a headache. I think there's an opportunity, you could get paid well for your time. It'd be a great experience for you." I'm like, "Oh, compared to what I was doing at the time, I was like, oh, this is a dream come true. Like,
right?
All I have to do is take a photo and I'll get paid for it." And I quickly realized there's so much more that goes into it, with camera settings and composition and, the whole 9 yards. I remember, so I get the camera. It was like a $500 camera from Target, not the camera I needed, but I didn't know that at the time. And ended up getting a drone as well. And he set up like 10 shoots in 2 days. And I remember just feeling so overwhelmed. Like I'd never done a shoot before. Like here comes all this business, which I was grateful for. The first house I go to, I'm going to open the blinds, and one of the blinds was like just not working.
Yeah.
Instead of just leaving it be or trying to work around it, I force it, and all of a sudden the whole entire thing comes crashing down. This is like 5 minutes into the first shoot I ever did, and it was a great lesson for me because it showed me, anything that you start, whether it's photography, whether it's videography, whether it's real estate, whether it's a podcast, you're going to dive in, you're going to feel underprepared, you're going to be underprepared. The first one might suck, but if you keep going, you have no idea what the limits are,
100%.
And so that's how it started. I was very blessed to, have that business up front. But from there, been doing it since 2017, and we're closing in on 4,000 properties. So,
that's huge.
I'm super grateful for it. And I get to work with some of the most awesome clients in Vegas. So,
right. It's so cool. And like how we met is we've actually met through Joe D, and he's a top real estate broker here in Las Vegas. And just the way when he was like, "Oh, here's my photographer," and I'm like, "We're doing video," and just the way Joe is with his properties, his professionalism, and you see it like when we go have a shoot with Joe, it's like unlike anything else.
Yeah,
and it's just so cool to see, and he's been able to kind of like mentor us through kind of like the business of how he's run his business in the real estate industry. But Tyler, talk about kind of like how did you meet Joe?
How did I meet Joe? Joe, we met through a mutual connection. I reached out to him and I just said, "Hey, I got your number through this person. I have a real estate media business.
Yeah.
I'd love to do a shoot for you for free.
Right.
If you like it, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But would like to get off on the right foot for you and provide some value." Ended up doing a few shoots for him, and he ended up liking the work, and he's like the coolest guy ever.
Right.
He's the best guy to work with. He's such a role model, such an inspiration. He provides value everywhere he goes. Every room he's in, the room gets better because he's there. And to be able to not only earn his business, but to do a good job for him, and the relationship that's grown from that, the best, you know.
Oh, it is. And like the same thing is like when you're in rooms, like when I'm in rooms with him, like everybody is leveling up, everybody's
Yeah,
getting better, and you know that. But it's just it's so cool to see, and like being an entrepreneur, having your own business, when you're in rooms like
yeah,
that people are striving to get better, that's the game
hmm
changer because everybody's striving to get to that next level.
yeah,
And, it's just so cool. But Tyler, so talk about like if somebody's just getting started in the real estate industry, doing photos, doing videos, what would be some advice? Like you said, a couple of free shoots, like that's how I started too.
hmm
Took a couple free shoots just to prove yourself in the beginning, build your portfolio.
yeah,
Can you talk about your experience in the real estate market?
yeah. So YouTube University,
Yes.
it does wonders.
Hmm.
Once you get to the point to where you can even pay for courses and communities to get into, that does wonders,
Oh, yeah.
because there's so many little things that they could teach you that just save you so much time,
Hmm.
and that's the name of the game. How good can I get in the shortest amount of time, you
Yes.
know? So yeah, honestly, starting a business, anyone who's ever done it, it can be daunting,
Yep.
especially when you start it young and
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
have much experience in anything else,
Yep.
you question yourself.
Yep.
You question, is it going to be worth it? You question how much work it's going to take. Um, there's a skill gap. There's a belief gap. There's, just seeing it done,
Oh, yeah.
it goes a long way. So when you're first starting, um, I would say seek out those communities of people
Hmm.
who have done it, seek out, even if it's just on YouTube. There's so many guys on YouTube that have incredible businesses that make, maybe even seven figures in revenue
Oh,
off their
yeah.
business, like that's not out of the realm of possibility, and to
Exactly.
see them be able to do it and the advice that they give, you know, to humble yourself and take that and,
Yep.
and just keep trusting, keep hammering at it, go day by day, do everything you can day by day. um, Humble yourself to do free shoots, humble yourself
Yep.
to get rejected over and over and over
Love it.
again, because nobody knows your name. Nobody should know your name. You haven't
Yes.
done anything yet,
Yes.
but capitalize on each thing and be prepared for those free shoots.
Yeah.
Deliver, do a great job, be professional. You'll have no idea where that could take you. I remember I did so much like active marketing when I first started,
Yeah.
and now it's gotten to the point to where I literally for the past 2 years have had to do none of it
Hmm.
because I got so busy based off of referrals that I literally couldn't handle it on my own,
Nice.
and we can get into,
Oh,
ways
yeah.
that I can expand my business later.
Yep.
But one point I wanted to make was at a certain point, you have to get great at the craft, right?
Yes.
You have to know the composition, you have to know the angles, you have to know the settings on the camera, you have to know the editing, you have to know the lighting, and it's a whole new world for video,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm sure there's things you learn still to this day,
Oh, yeah.
every single
Always
day,
learning every day.
you know, and just, the small percentages that you can get better, right?
Yep.
In my field, in real estate, at this point, I consider being a photographer like here on the scale,
Yeah.
in some ways it's, of course, like it's the product I deliver, it's the service I deliver,
Yep.
and I take pride in that, and there's details that we have to cover in that. But in my perspective, what separates me isn't going to be the photos at this point,
Correct.
because I hope this is okay to say, Tropic Thunder is one of my favorite movies. I don't know if you've seen it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that one
At a
very well.
certain level, a nutless monkey can take photos of a house, right? I could
Yes.
train a nutless monkey to take photos of a house. I can
Yes.
say, hey, here's the settings, move this dial for the brightness,
Uh-huh.
push this button, this is the angle we want, right?
Yeah.
And after one or two houses, a monkey could get it.
Exactly.
Right?
If you are trained properly
If you're
by
trained
the
properly,
right
for
person.
sure.
Yeah.
What's going to separate me after that,
Mhm.
right? In my eyes, there's so many things that can go wrong with the real estate transaction. In many ways, like I look at Joe D and all the transactions he's done, a lot of the high-end transactions.
Oh, yeah.
We've been in some nice houses.
Oh, yes.
There's so many things that can go wrong. You've got clients on both ends.
Mhm.
You've got another agent, and you're fighting for negotiation and,
Yep.
and ground and leverage. You've got lenders. You've got appraisers. You've got repairs. so many different things that could go right, go wrong in the transaction.
Oh yeah.
How do I be an extension of the agent in the realm of professionalism
Yeah.
to make this go as smoothly as possible? How can I be an extension of them to where I'm so professional, I take such great care of their clients
Yep.
that I make not only that transaction better, but I make their brand better.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So the craft is one thing, and it's not to be overlooked. There's always something to learn, but who are you as the person in the professionalism that is going to go to that extra level, to take great care of your clients, right? Because that's where the referrals come from.
It is.
That's where people market your business without you putting in that effort, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. So what I've seen in our business and your business as well is we are their brand. If
Yeah.
you are doing a video for a corporation or for a real estate agent or doing photos as well, we are their brand because the
Yeah.
videos that we produce or the photos that we produce, those are marketing materials. And that's how the public is going to see them through the lens that we take of them.
Yeah.
And like it comes down to properties, like if you have a bad photographer or a bad videographer and they don't do a good job and you post a video out there, that's your brand. And like, you're doing something right when people are referring you personally because you take pride in ownership into your company, the videos that you create, the photos that you create. And that's just a true testament right there, where you are just getting amazing referrals by the product that you produce.
Yeah, the ultimate compliment.
Oh, it
for
is.
sure.
When somebody could just give a call and like, hey, Tyler, can you go out and shoot this photos? Or here's your company to do it. That's when your company has made it. And I think a lot of people in the beginning, they think that photos or video, I can make a quick buck. But they don't realize, like, if you want to play and stay in the game, it's all about the relationships. It's all about building people's brand and being humble
Yeah.
and just doing what you love, but providing a quality product. And I've seen that a lot in our generation where, they don't take pride in the work that they produce and they're just like, on to the next one, on to the next one.
Yep.
And that's why in the end, like that referral system runs dry because they didn't take care of the client first. And, they didn't provide a great product. And like, that's something I've seen.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I love about working with you. You talk about iron sharpening iron and being in those right rooms that force you to level up. Is I noticed right away for us, like that's just innate. Like whether you naturally start off like that, we've done enough reps to where that's just a part of who we are.
Oh yeah,
that's a part of the lifeblood of our business. So yeah, I mean, to go that, I always think of it as going the extra mile.
Oh yeah.
I'm always going to take the extra step. I'm always in a business setting or example of this. If I want to edit out this speck out of the photo, they're probably not going to notice it, but I will, you know, and I can't live with myself and I'm not throwing my whole self into it if I don't edit that speck out.
Exactly.
Because subconsciously they will notice, and if you don't put that time, care, and attention into every single interaction, not to where it's stressful, but it's just who we are.
It is,
and we see the value of that. And the Heartfelt Productions, I love that name. The heart of what we do is we want to serve and provide value to people.
Yes.
And we know that if we provide value on a good level and we do it with our whole heart and everything that we got behind it, great things are going to happen and great relationships are going to form. And that makes what we do so much more enjoyable, beyond the money,
Exactly.
And the money's an afterthought compared to the feeling and the gratification of those relationships,
So true. And just like what you're saying is like doing the little things in I would say like a creative business that we are in matter. The client might know that, there's a trash can and you didn't want to edit it out in Photoshop, but when you edit it out, and it's like, those are the difference things that strive for, that make a difference, but people might not even notice the systems and things that you do behind the scenes,
Yeah.
especially in Photoshop and like real estate photography.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I've been there, I've done that, and I'm like, man, there's so much work in editing a photo, or if there's something on the counter,
Mhm.
Photoshop it out,
Yeah.
and that's what you do, and it's incredible to see like what you're building here.
I appreciate that, man. The amount of times that you can, the small things that separate yourself beyond the photos. I'm gonna take the extra half hour at this house to move this and move that
Yep.
and clean this and clean that, even though it's not in the job description.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it with a smile on my face and a cheerful attitude. And I'm gonna ask the client how their day's going, and oh, are you guys staying in Vegas? Where are you going?
Right.
How'd you come across this agent? You know, how can I help you? How can I help you? If that's your heart, and you dial in the skill, your business is gonna go so far. It's just a matter of time.
Exactly. And it's all about that's the main thing. Like when I go on a shoot, no matter who we're filming, what we're doing, I come from a serving background.
Yeah.
So I am here, I'm serving you guys. How can I help you get the job done smooth that you don't have to worry about us filming, that you can do your job at 110%, and then we'll just capture it. We'll make you guys look amazing. We'll make you guys look phenomenal. And when people have that weight lifted off their shoulders, where they don't have to worry about how are the photos going to turn out, how is the video going to look,
Yeah.
they could just be themselves, and they're like,
Yeah.
wow, what a great job. But it's coming from a serving heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where the magic is.
it is. But Tyler, talk about, just you're in that place right now. You're growing your business. You said you're doing about 15 shoots a week. What kind of people are you looking for within growing your team?
Mhm.
Would love to hear that.
Yeah, it's been I would say the last few years, it's been a very interesting market. Uh, back when we met,
Yeah.
2022, it was kind of the days of, you almost didn't need photos,
Mm-hmm.
and the agents knew that, and I knew that.
Yeah.
And so trying to sell them on, extra services and photos for this, photos for that, it was more so like, hey, we want to separate you and your brand,
Mm-hmm.
this is marketing material. But those were the days of you list anything for any price, it's going to sell
Couple
in
days.
it's going to have 15 offers in 2 days, right?
Yeah.
Above list price, those days are over,
Yep.
and I think a lot of agents have been, it's not as easy as it was in a lot of regards. We're seeing who the real professionals are
Yeah.
in the field for sure. It's just a different season, a different market. With that, there's a lot more inventory.
Yep.
There's a lot more houses on the market, which means more opportunities for listing shoots.
Yeah.
So that's been a good thing for our business. That's really driven the numbers up. More listings to shoot, and above that, when things are harder to sell, they want more services to help sell them. So
Yeah.
instead of, oh, we'll take 20 photos and we're just gonna list it.
Yeah.
The photos matter. We want more of them. We want drone shots. We want 3D tours. We want videos. We want all the services to give us
Right.
the best chance to just get an offer.
Yeah.
So even though it's been a different market in that regard, for our business, it's led to more projects, but also a greater margin with those projects. And with that, personally, I prided myself on, mainly being a one-man show.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of hard work. Really want to deliver my clients the best version of me.
Yep.
And beyond just having VA editors,
Exactly.
it was just me. And it's gotten to the point to where, to make the business expand further
Yep.
and serve more agents, I need some time back, for myself,
Exactly.
to do those. I mentioned, the past few years, I haven't even had to do marketing or
Yeah.
go on meetings or stuff like that to
Sure.
get new business. All the referrals came in, and it got to a point to where, I can handle this many shoots in a day,
Mm-hmm.
and this is how much time I have in a day,
Yep.
and time was going down. And it's like, if I get any more new clients, like I don't have the time of day to serve them, So we're looking for active photographers in Las Vegas,
Nice.
and if they have a heart to learn real estate, I made the joke earlier, but we're more than happy to train you how to do the shoot right and provide the best product or the best service. But if you're a photographer in Las Vegas and you have any real estate background, or even if you're just interested in doing real estate, we're happy to have you on board and get you some shoots and get you paid on those. So, if that's something that interests you, we'd love to get in contact and have a conversation and see if we can work together.
Love it. I love it. And that's the thing about building a team. And it's just like what I've known from Tyler and just been able to work with him over the last couple of years. It's just the way the way he shows up professional, always on time. You're efficient. You're in and out. You know exactly what shots you're getting. And you have the drone dialed in, like everything. It's like, okay, show up. If it's a twilight shoot, you go interior, exterior, drone shot. Let's go outside, get the twilight shots. Like, you are on the game. You don't waste any time because you know what you're filming. You've done it. You've put in the reps. And when I see the photos, I'm just like blown away because it's like the photos look 1,000 times better than in real life.
Oh.
And that's just the quality of work that you do.
I appreciate that, man.
It's just cool to see. And when when I actually have real estate business too for photos, I'm like, right now, like we've just strictly, niched down in the video space. He's the first guy I recommend because he does an amazing job. So
yeah, what a blessing that's been to me. The best clients to work with, and that's just the power of referrals. But I really appreciate that, man. That those compliments coming from you really means a lot,
right?
Because you're a professional through and through. So
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Tyler. And that's the thing where it's just like when you have that, like it's cool to see. Because I think some people like, it's all me, me, me. No, it's building the referrals and creating that community of the people that you can trust when somebody else shows up.
Yeah.
Because clients always, oh, who are you going to send another? Like the situation is like, client asked me, oh, you can't come out. You can't film this today. But I'm like, I have somebody that I can trust personally. I've worked with them in the past. And then they go, okay. Can you give me their number? And then it's just like, boom.
Yeah.
You go out there, you do an amazing job, and then client calls because you treat them with respect.
Yeah, exactly. That peace of mind is such a big thing, especially in filming.
Oh, yeah.
But there's so much pressure on the line for people, to deliver a good product and to get the sale done, whether it's in the corporate world or real estate.
Yeah.
There's so many things that have to go right, and to be someone that they can rely on, that's a huge thing, and for me, building a team, we definitely want someone who has that good attitude, is reliable, respectful. If you have the right attitude, learning how to shoot, learning how to get everything dialed, that's going to come naturally,
Right.
So you can't teach attitude, in my opinion.
You can't. Like, I've always had that underdog mentality where it's like, I will rather, if you are working harder than anybody else, but you don't have the skill set, hey, and you want to grow and you want to learn, sign me up every day of the week.
Yep.
Because those are the people that you're going to see. They're going to grow. They're going to learn. Or you could have the guy that's, just shows up practice, kind of like every day, just do. I just show up, but they don't put in the work. That underdog's going to outpass them every step of the time because they have the passion. They have the heart to get the job done.
They nothing but time.
Oh, yeah.
They nothing but time, baby. Yeah, and the real ones can tell.
Oh, yeah.
The detail-oriented ones, the professionals, the ones who've been doing it for a minute, they can spot that from a mile away.
Yep.
This guy's coming, and this guy, let's make some changes, buddy. Let's humble ourselves and do the work.
Exactly, and that's what it's all about. So, Tyler, talk about kind of like, what has been, like owning your own business, what has been some of the biggest highlights for you personally?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We get to meet some of the most incredible people, and we get to go inside some of the most incredible homes, and we get to work alongside with some of the most incredible professionals.
Yes.
And being able to deliver for them and the appreciation that comes from that, like to find satisfaction in your work, there's few things greater in life than it, we're all here for a certain number of time.
Yep.
We might as well find something that we enjoy and do it well. And I can't tell you how many times that we've been able to serve a client well, and everything goes right for them, and we were a small part in that.
Yeah.
But the appreciation and the impact that we left, sending us a card,
Yeah.
through the realtor, or extra money, or just the kind words that they say, the hours that you and I put in, those little things really add up.
They
And,
do.
they're the boost that, keeps us going, when the market does change, or we do have a setback, because it is
Oh, yeah.
business,
It is.
and entrepreneurship is a battle. It's
Mhm.
not for the weary or the weak.
Oh, yeah.
It takes something out of you every now and then, but to work alongside great people, and whenever those kind reinforcements come back, and words of encouragement, and gifts of encouragement, for me, there's nothing that tops that. Knowing I did a good job for somebody.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know
It's so true. And like, man, it's just like the encouragement factor, like showing up daily, because entrepreneurship, it is like, it's not for everybody.
no.
Like this business, like, you're working, you're building, you're grinding, you're like, how can I always improve? You're always thinking of the next step.
Yeah.
And it's not for everybody. And it's just, it takes a certain person
Yeah.
to do what we do, because it's not just filming or shooting real estate. It's behind the scenes as well. Like,
Yeah.
okay, taxes, contracts, everything,
Yeah.
getting drone approval,
Yeah.
that people don't know about too.
Yeah.
And just everything, all this other stuff. And it's like, if you have a shoot and then here's other clients emailing you, like
Mhm.
getting texts late at night too,
Mhm.
but it's serving your client to
Yeah.
do the best for them.
Yeah. And it keeps life interesting.
It does.
For the right mind, it's
Yep.
a fun ride.
It-
you
it-
know, for sure.
Uh,
One other thing
Yeah.
that I just thought of, and this is what came to mind, is
Yeah.
being able to see, because you get it, and then, like, we're in Joe's studio. Every time I see Joe, like, you can just see it in someone's eyes.
Right.
They get it, and just being able to hug and embrace. A lot of times that hug, there's so much that's unsaid in it.
Mhm.
I can't tell you how many, like, great realtors I work with. As soon as I see them, it's just like a huge hug, and it says it all.
It
Like,
does.
it says, I know what you're going through, I know what it takes, and
Mhm.
I got you.
Oh, yeah.
Not just physically, but like I got your back, and we're in this together. We're in this battle together. And we're gonna make something great happen.
Exactly. Oh, love that. And I think that's like the heart and soul right there, Tyler, of
Yeah.
entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Is having, because everybody, it's not just one person, but everybody in this business, no matter what you're selling, no matter what you're building, we're all going through the same things, but it might be just different niches and different companies,
Yeah.
right? And when you say, hey, I have your back, I'm going to deliver on the product, I'm going to serve you, and they know exactly how they're filming because they've been through that probably in their journey as an entrepreneur. So they know this is where you are too.
Mhm.
And it's like when you have that community where people can support you and you can support them, like that says it all.
Yeah.
And like one of the biggest differences for me this year, in the last year and a half, 2 years, I've surrounded ourselves with an amazing community
Mhm.
of people that support, are here, that you can call up. Hey, I have a question about this. Okay, how can I help you? And when you're in those groups, like it gets you through those tough times because
Yeah.
this road can be lonely sometimes for other people. And like it's not an easy road, but when you have people that support you, it makes it that much easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So true.
That's why every time I see you, there's just always a smile on my face.
All
'Cause,
right.
it's just that, that light that we all need at times.
Oh yeah, because and like you just never know what people are going through too.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can I I think it comes from me. It's like, starting this 6 years ago with not having a camera,
Hmm.
not knowing what to do, is every day I pick up a camera, every day I have a shoot. Like I'm grateful. And every day I get to meet somebody or create a relationship. It's
Yeah.
like, how cool is that? Because life is too short not to cherish.
Yeah.
And I think some people we overlook how quick it goes by.
Yeah.
Like I'm 34 right now, and I'm like,
Yeah.
where did the time go?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's cool because, me, you, other entrepreneurs out there that are grinding, starting their own businesses, we took that first step.
Hmm.
We might have not known what we were doing at the time,
Yep.
but we said, let's move forward. Let's learn the craft. Let's, humble ourselves and do stuff for free in the beginning.
Hmm.
Let's show up and meet people, create amazing relationships. And, now that carries us to the next chapter.
Hmm.
And then it's like you get there and it's like now it's a new family. And it's cool to see everybody level up their game to continue to get better.
Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
yeah, man, Tyler, this is good stuff. But let's talk about kind of like what is your biggest you have the good times. What's the biggest thing? I think I know as a small business owner that's the toughest for you. And I know what it's for me, but
Mhm.
is it money, time, building a company? What's that toughest moment?
Yeah, at this point, it's definitely it's crazy how at the beginning you have to humble yourself to do it for free,
Yep.
and if you're fortunate and blessed enough to get to a certain point, you have to be humble enough to take a step back.
Yes.
And that's been I've noticed what are the three things that you can have two of them. You can have time, you can
Time.
have money.
And I think,
um
what is it like free? It's not freedom. Is it freedom? It's
free that kind of goes under time,
that does time, money, health. Is health in there?
maybe.
I'm not
But
sure.
let's just use
Yeah.
time and money,
Time.
right? You can have a lot of time and not a lot of money, or you can have a lot of money and not have a lot of time.
Yep.
And one of the beauties about entrepreneurship is eventually you can game it to where you have everything.
Exactly.
You got to earn that though,
Yes.
and I'm at the point where, I do have to humble myself, and I do have to get time back to focus on, earning those other aspects of the game,
Right.
in business. Um, but the first step is taking a step back and bringing people in,
Oh yeah.
which is very valuable,
Exactly.
but to do that, you have to, put in the work to get more business to support them,
Uh-huh.
and then rinse and repeat over and over, so that's been the biggest struggle internally for me,
Yeah.
is taking that step back, not controlling as much. You want to be there every second with every client on every
Yep.
shoot and make sure everything goes well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to make sure the right people are in place, and
Mm-hmm.
let them do the best they can do, so
So true.
that's where I am
Delegate.
now, and gosh, externally, there's always the stresses of, if you have 15 shoots in a week,
Yeah.
one person's going to be unhappy about something, and
Uh-huh.
you do your best and manage
Yeah.
what you can, and you know 90% of the time it's awesome, and focus on that, and then just be grateful even when there's things that we need to correct, or
Yep.
or didn't go perfectly,
Yep.
even if it was out of your control, so just having the right perspective.
Exactly. And that's the thing where you might not know what they're going through in their life, and it's like they're taking it off on like a photo or a video. Like I've seen it. We just had a podcast earlier today, and it was like they're not really angry with that, but it's personally there's something else there
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they're like gonna put on you.
Yeah.
But I think for me too, Tyler, is like, you get to the point where you want the company running. And I think for me, it's time. Like, I think we're both in that next chapter of,
Mm-hmm.
having time back because we're there, we're building successful companies, but now it's like, okay, how can we train? How can we can basically have that same process, but we can't be there for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the next chapter is like, okay, training amazing people to help us get to the destination where you can count on.
Yep.
Because in the end of the day, time's one of the most important things because you can't get that back.
Never. Yep.
And,
Correct.
that's where I've learned too, where I'm like, I can't be in 10 places in one day. Like we had a shoot the other day where I'm like, we were filming a major convention with I think it was insane.
Yeah.
Then the other team's filming another mastermind group. So both was 8 hours. And then the aviators called in and they're like, hey, can you film a promo video for Dustin Lynch for his concert. That was one day, and I was literally woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, got on site at 7.
Yeah.
We got done at like 3. I ran over, but you get the point.
Yeah.
You can't be everywhere, but you got to have people that you can trust.
Yeah.
And without, training other people that are passionate about what they do. Like, first of all,
yes,
they have to be passionate about what they do. And like for me and our company is what I figured out. And each person has a passion for something. Like when Oziel goes, hey, I just want to do weddings. Well, you're just going to do weddings.
Perfect.
Like if you want to just do weddings and that's where your heart is, let's just focus on the weddings.
Yeah.
Like Logan reaches out and, hey, I just want to do corporate conventions and build a company, build a brand. Okay, that's your niche. That's what you're going to do. And when you can look at other people, like when we're talking, it's like, what are you passionate about? And what do you want to do?
Yeah.
That's the game changer, because you let them decide about the position that they want. And if you have that position and if that's not their passion, then, you can find somebody else that fills that job because of the passion.
Yeah. That's really, really good. And I think us learning how to duplicate ourselves is going to be a huge game changer going forward. And you said it was Ozzy?
Oziel, yep.
Oziel.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? Maybe a year from now, he's going to be better at weddings than you ever were.
I know, right?
If he's not already,
True.
And what a blessing that would be for everyone involved, And I'm fortunate to work with a really good contractor in town. I do a lot of drone work for him, and he does all these major projects throughout town, and you would notice the buildings that he's done. And he told me one day, he goes, what you need is to get 80, 90%ers.
Yep.
And what he meant by that is if you can find a guy who's 80 or 90% as good as you, but focuses on this job, and then you have another one that does this job.
Yep.
All of a sudden, it's like you just have duplicates of you all over. And all it is time until they're just as good, if not better than you.
Exactly. Yep.
And if you can get those guys around you, like one asset all around.
Oh, and that's the thing that I've learned. It's been this year where it's just like 80, 90%. Like, you know what? You have to lift and go, okay, it's time to let go.
Yeah.
And I can't, like, we think 100%, but now you have a person that they're still passionate, but they get it 80%. Like we have a full-time editor now, we're building up like the different teams, and it's cool because they're passionate.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing, and the job gets done, and the client's happy.
Yeah.
And everybody else is winning, and like everybody's happy, and like that's what it's about. But it's about the community too. Like when we're building up the team, it's about this community. Like Oziel called me today. He's like, the kid's only 21, and he took that leap of faith. He's like, Brandon, I need information about how can I, talk to this client. He wants to do this. And I just told him like, hey, I'm here for you. I have this experience. Here you go. Yeah. It's like, thanks so much. Yeah. But it's because he created that relationship with us, and we're just grateful to train him. And he put himself in the room at a convention 2 years ago. And he was like, he saw me. He's like, hey, can I learn from you? Wow. And I'm like, yeah, come on out. And the funny story is, like, he came out. We were at the convention. I was like, let's go fly a drone because he wanted to learn drones. He showed up, and we were flying like in the desert. He showed up and he's like, I lost my job. 19 or 20 at the time. Wow. And I go, do you want to do, weddings right now? It's wedding season. I go, can you start tomorrow? He goes, yeah. And he's been with us for 2 years now. Wow. He took that leap of faith. He's learning, he's growing as an individual, and he's had 3 other weddings that he's booked from his company. Wow. And just to see him now build the company that he's building is like cool, but we're all winning together. Exactly. It's a win-win all the way around. It's a win-win. Yeah. That's because incredible. It's referrals, people you trust. Yeah. And that's the thing about this game. Yeah. What a blessing that is. That's awesome. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And man, Tyler, so anything else that you want to talk about, for the viewer out there that wants to know about getting into the real estate photography world, anything else that you would give them some advice?
Yeah, I would say, entrepreneurship is a huge blessing, especially for the right mind. You know, if you're looking for, um, it's funny we talk about we have less freedom and less time, but in a way we have more freedom and more time than we ever would have,
We do.
going down a different route. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I don't want people to listen to this and think, oh, like, why would I ever want to be an entrepreneur? Why would I
Yeah.
ever want to have my own media business?
Yep.
The rewards are way more, than not. I would just say if you have a heart for hard work, if you have a heart for serving people, if you have a heart for providing value to people, and you enjoy seeing great things created, I think I get so I've been in nearly 4,000 homes, and every time I go to a new home, it's like what am I going to see?
Right.
What's
Exactly.
inside?
Yeah.
What's the kitchen look like? How are
Yep.
we, in the process of how am I going to make this look as good as possible?
Yeah.
Can I make this look better in picture than in real life?
Mhm.
And if you find something that you enjoy like that, I think real estate photography is a great lane, and it pays well. Um, the margins on what you get paid versus the hours that you put in,
Yep.
um, is a huge blessing through and through. You get to see incredible homes, work with incredible
Oh
people,
yeah.
meet incredible sellers, network with the best in the business. So I'd recommend it to anybody.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a great lane.
Oh, it is, and I dip myself in that lane, and it's an incredible lane because it's like once you have the systems, you actually do have time.
Hmm.
Like it's funny, like you said it perfectly. Like, oh, we don't have enough time, but we do. But it's like we're
Because
doing
we've
what we
earned
love.
that level,
Yeah.
we've earned that level of, we have so much business coming in,
Mm-hmm.
and there's to whom much is given, much is required. There's,
Yep.
a certain level of intensity and focus and time that requires. And, that should be the goal, right?
Yeah.
But it's funny because I don't know if there's anything like this for you.
Let's hear it.
I have no problem sending everything to an editor
Yeah.
overnight and
Right.
paying them to edit everything, and they do a way better job than I ever could.
Exactly.
Why can't I do that in every facet of my business?
You can.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
can.
It's weird how you could be so good about it in one lane,
Yeah.
but like another aspect is like, oh, I don't want to give that up.
Yeah,
Like it's
and
crazy.
you can because I started doing that this year, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, this is better than what I could have done. And I'm like, because they have one job, they have
Yeah.
one role, they love what they're doing,
Yeah.
and and it gets you back time.
Yeah.
But we can do that in every aspect of the business. And one thing that, like, you can do it, I think it just takes time to realize,
Yeah.
like, in each of our journeys is like you have to go through it first
Yeah.
to realize how you want to build it.
Yes. Yeah.
You
That's a
know?
good way to put it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like it's the experience, and then you get to that point of, I would not say like burnout, but where you go, I can't do it all now.
Hmm.
Like there comes a time in that business, in our businesses, where it's like you can't do it all. So now you have no choice
Yeah.
to change or keep doing it what we want to do. But we're business owners, we're entrepreneurs. So it's always like, let's keep moving the needle forward.
Yeah.
And it's growth,
Eventually, there's going to be a leak if we don't make a change.
Exactly.
And
Hmm.
I'm starting to realize it's more of an identity thing
Yes.
than anything.
Uh-huh.
So I'm feeling inspired, man. I'm gonna work on that self-image, and
Right.
hopefully someone reaches out, and
Oh.
it's a great fit, and we can just keep rolling from there.
Oh, it's incredible, Tyler.
I'm
So,
so grateful, man.
it's been an amazing podcast. So if they're watching right now, how can they reach out to you, your company, if they want to get involved? Let them know.
Yeah, so my name's Tyler Mckee. I own Valleywide Photography. You can go to www.valleywide.photography.com. You can also email me at tyler@valleywidephotography.com, or send us a message on Instagram, Valleywide Photography.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. It's just amazing conversation. Truly blessed too that we got to discuss this. And like, it's just so cool. Like every time I see you, I love talking business. I love talking about what you're doing and how you're scaling. And, it's just awesome. And this is what this podcast is all about. So guys, go give him a follow. If you want to reach out to him, everything will be under the link. And thanks again for tuning in to Behind the Lens podcast. We'll see you on the next one. Let's go.
Thanks so much,
Bro,
brother.
let's
That was
go.
fun.
Right?
Did you like that?
Oh, that was great. You are a natural.
You mean that?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me?